I'm going to have to lance that.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have a little Amelia, y'all. She's about to lance it and get it out.
Yeah.
Because we are the worst. Well, I don't know about her. Me. I'm the worst when it comes to taking care of my skin.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you really feel like you don't take care of your skin right?
Meaning I don't have time to go and do like self-care.
Treatments.
Like treatments. Like I do.
Your home regimen.
I do my whole regimen. Yeah. Oh yeah.
We got her out.
I do my regimen and I do chemical peels and all that, but like to have somebody I go to on a regular basis just to get my facials and stuff, I suck at that.
Okay, gotcha.
Because I usually don't have time.
Right. I feel you.
But I do try out pretty much everything I do on my clients. I do on myself, so I can let them know I am in need for a chemical peel though.
Okay.
For sure. But I usually do it in the fall.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you mean? What kind of peel are you wanting? Something that will actually shed the skin, right?
Yeah.
Do you do perfect
I
peels?
I do perfect peels. I've done a perfect
Love those.
before. I love perfect peel.
Especially for melanin.
Melanated skin. It's great for our skin. I do offer those. Just a little plug.
We like that.
But I do like enzymes too.
Yeah.
I do those pretty regularly. You know, not because some people don't want all the shedding.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing I like about DMK is because they do offer things that work on the skin inside out versus having all the shedding. Because what I have learned throughout these years, the shedding is great, but if we're not doing anything to kind of get that lymph moving,
exactly, which has to be manually
done. If we don't have anything to move that lymph, get that inflammation down, like we're basically kind of missing a huge part of skin. And so that's what I've recently learned through DMK, is making sure we are stimulating the inside of the skin as well. How do you feel about DMK?
I really like, the whole reverse osmosis theory and the fact of flushing the skin.
Yes.
For sure. And I love it. I've been using the kits and I've done them on myself. I've done them on my clients. I mean, for me, the hard part is just mastering actually removing it.
Yeah.
Without making a whole mess.
Girl, and using 50 million towels.
50 million towels.
That would be the only
So the rep told me, she was like, use more acai oil, use the spritz, and make sure the towel itself is just soft and wet, saturated. And then really foam up that, because I did my mom yesterday one, and it was the smoothest removal ever.
So you put CBD on the outside?
Mix it in with the cleanser and the foam and the spritz, and I spritz to the face.
Okay.
Let the hot towel sit.
Okay.
For like probably 3 to 5 minutes,
Really?
Then remove as much as I can without ripping, without too much.
Because it'll hurt them.
Yeah, because it's like dry, very dry.
And it's like sucked onto your face. Yeah.
Exactly. Then I whip the mixture on.
Okay.
And then I kind of use my hands and break it up. And then one more towel and completely
okay.
Oh yeah, it came off like a drink.
Good. Okay, so that I'm gonna use that
because I was like, oh god.
Because that's time consuming.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like, okay, I don't know if this is,
Right.
But I think learning that trick of how to get the enzyme mask off is important.
It's a big trick, yeah.
But I love it. I'm also using it in my case studies.
Me too.
For the skin games. But definitely using a couple of those rounds for my acne clients. And I'm actually seeing some really good results from it.
Yeah, like mix it in with what you're already doing.
What I'm already doing. And I'm actually thinking about this week putting like a chemical peel either on before or after. I'm just trying to play around with the protocol on that. But I know so many different ways you can use DMK.
So I'll do like the quick peel. After the quick peel, then I dermaplane. Then,
oh, really?
Then I apply.
I'm gonna try it.
Then I apply the enzyme.
Do you wet the face Do you take the quick peel off, or do you kind of use the dermaplane to take the quick peel?
No, so I use my hands to rub off the quick peel as much as possible.
Okay.
Then I wipe down with sponges, and if there's still some left, then the dermaplane gets the rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think, honestly, that was a big reason why it came off so, because there's no hair on the face.
Stick to. Oh my God, you are so right, because that's what I learned about some of my clients.
Like, don't get it in their hairline, girl. Get it in the eyebrows.
Right, because you put it all over the face, like everything.
So those places put the Seibai oil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just to give a little buffer, you know what I mean?
Okay. And by the way, you guys, she's doing, what did we do?
Right now?
Well, I guess the whole treatment.
Oh, okay.
Because I know you were doing a lot of stuff.
So I do combination corrective skincare. Okay. So when a client comes in and sees me, they pay me for my time, not the service. So if you're in here for 2 hours,
you're going to pay me for 2 hours.
Then it's $450.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter what we do in that 2 hours. It's a set price.
Oh, I like
I don't add on, so basically you come in for 30 minutes, I'm going to do as much as I can for you in 30 minutes. You come in for 2 hours, I'm going to do as much as I can for you in 2 hours.
So, you guys who are in the Polly's Island area, come to Seaside Aesthetics, but so you basically see the client, you're like, okay, we're going to do this, and this. It's not necessarily something they're picking.
So basically, with the majority of my clientele, they all come in and they're like, just what do we need to do today?
Oh.
It's gotten to that point.
Okay.
When I first started, I've changed my menu so much.
Girl. Because I'm listening to you, I'm like, okay.
Yes.
I need to change my menu.
Yes.
Okay.
Because, I didn't feel like, because I felt like, well, you need the Skin Classic. And I don't want you to tell me no just because it's a $50 or $100 add-on, right? I don't want you to feel like you have to compromise and tell me no when you need it, right?
Right.
So I just gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, my new menu is, it's 45 minutes, an hour and 15, an hour and 45, and 2 hours and 15. And based on that time frame, I do a combination of hydrofacials, oxygen therapy, chemical, physical exfoliation, Skin Classic, all sorts of different things, EMS, LED, scalp treatments, hand treatments, things like that. Okay. So that's kind of where I'm at with my journey. And
because it is a journey, y'all.
It is.
Yes.
And then the client is too. So they come in and sometimes they're like, Jess, I can only do, my 45 minute. And so we'll do a 45 minutes. Next time they come in, we'll do a 75 minute. Next time they come in, we'll do another 75 minute.
Right.
And then we'll, some of them will treat themselves to that full 2 hour, 15 minutes. Because that is more of a little luxe added in there.
Yes.
And my 2 hour 15 is literally called the luxe.
Okay.
So I have the quickie, the regular, the VIP, and the luxe.
I love it.
And so
are these memberships or?
So if you're a member, you do get 20% off, and the membership is a $30 flat monthly fee that doesn't get you anything other than the discount.
Okay.
So you pay for the membership up front, the membership fee up front.
Okay.
And then that gets you 20% off services, for the year.
Oh. So you pay, okay, I like that. I like that. Okay, so you're basically paying for a discount. Gotcha.
Well, and it'll pay for itself in 1 or 2 visits if you're getting the 75 or more appointment.
Okay.
So with the new year, I will launch probably a $30 or $40 fee.
Right.
And then it'll still be, I think I'm going to do 2 options, 10% and 20%.
Yeah.
Because there's some people, I have very few, but there are some people that just come in for quickies.
Right.
Because they're like, it's my lunch hour.
Yeah.
Whatever. So what we're doing on Miss Courtney today is we are doing...
We've done a lot.
I know. I love it. So I did some lymphatic drainage. That's what you felt with me. So I did a nice double cleanse, hot towels, a little aromatherapy with that. Went in with lymphatic drainage. Then I did the first cleanse of the hydrofacial, which has lactic acid and glucosamine. It's a chemical physical exfoliation, but still keeping the barrier intact and hydrated. Then I went in with a chemical peel, glycolic, salicylic, AHA, BHA blend, 7.5%. clean out the pores from the inside out, top down, bottom up. Then I went in with some manual extractions using my spatula, a little lytic treatment that breaks down any keratin on the skin. Clean out the pores. We dug out a little milia over here. And then I went in with the hydrofacial extractions just to kind of suck up and clean up what I maybe can't get, right? Now we're going to go in with some boosters. With her, I'm going to do a combination of the Brightenol, Hydroglucan, Power Serum, and Regen GF. And the reason why for her specifically, because we have this pigmented scarring that, you know, really is more intense here at the top of her, what would this be considered? Your jawline, right? So I actually would like to pull out my infusion pen on her and do a little, and the infusion, nano infusion is just you can kind of look at it as a steroid version of at-home stamping. But I'm going to highly recommend to you, Miss Courtney, that you start stamping at least one time a week, doing a peel pad one time a week. And when you stamp, you need to follow with growth factors, stem cells, peptides. So that's what I want to target specifically on her before I do these boosters. I want to pull out my infusion pen. It's just a nano infusion. It's just a textured tip that allows product to penetrate deeper into the skin and create a more effective response.
Pinpoint.
No pinpoint. No microneedling, no pinpoint. It's just going to feel like I'm touching her with sandpaper. You know, high powered, super. So it will feel a little cinnamon-like effect for maybe 45 minutes. You know what I mean? But what I like to do once I get the skin with a chemical or physical exfoliation, which I do consider nano infusion physical exfoliation. I want to nourish the skin back, right? So we don't do that and then strip the skin and then you just go home. What I have learned with my clients and with a decade, you know, being in the industry, in my opinion, we want to break it down but rebuild it up. Rebuild and then maintain, right? Which is kind of like DMK. So I want to nourish and feed the skin back. I don't want to just strip it. Even when I do sometimes perfect peels, I don't let them just walk out with the perfect peel on. I put something on top of them. And then they go home and after 6 hours they'll do their retinol pad, but then they put nourisher back on. So that's what
I love that we're here because I feel like we've been taught, and a lot of people do this, strip.
Oh, in school we were taught that.
Strip.
Keep building them up. Keep building them up. Keep building them up. You want to get them, and not everybody can do that.
Not everybody can do that.
You can't get to a TCA,
girl. Especially with old mature clients, like you can't just strip. Like you need to be nourishing their skin. Yes, everybody needs a good exfoliating every now and again. But we're getting to the point of this can't be every appointment. We're doing like strip. And if we are stripping, we're also replenishing the skin.
Exactly.
And as for me, with the juice bar and everything, I'm talking about daily replenishing the skin inside out, giving it that quality enzyme, that quality nutrients to help restore itself.
Exactly, because it is a full system.
It is a full system.
And I do believe that whenever I do anything to my clients, I tell them, I'm like, hey, start upping this supplement. Or start doing this, avoid this.
What supplements, I know I became a face reality rep and we talk about zinc, but specific types of zinc and omega-3s, obviously. Are those some of your favorites?
For sure. Vitamin K.
Oh, really?
Vitamin K is really great for discoloration.
Oh, that's a new one. Do you have a specific brand?
I mean, you know.
Just any?
I mean.
Well, let's not say any.
I know.
A high quality.
You want a high quality one, for sure.
And also getting it from your leafy greens. Vegetables.
Yes, exactly. While we're doing this, I'm gonna use the XO8 placenta peptide complex. I love this stuff. This is phenomenal. So I'm gonna rub this onto the skin, and then we're gonna just do a little nano infusion of this. And then I'm going to do the boosters all over. And see, we do have a little acne scar in there. Is that a little box rolling scar? Is that or is that a chicken pox?
Chicken pox.
I
have it on my forehead.
Oh, okay. See, I have one too. I have one too. Okay, so we are going to do this on 8.5. Okay, beautiful. All right. So what I like to do, and I think you remember this from when we did the advanced program, right, left, up and down.
Yes, I do.
And then crisscross.
Yes, I do that with them.
And then circles. Yep. And then I stamp. And so those are the 5
directions.
Passes I like to do.
Yeah, because you don't want to miss anything. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so yeah, you guys, I'm starting my YouTube channel because I really want to be informative and give quality information for other beauty professionals and consumers. This is definitely a journey of learning. I'm not gonna say experience, but
a little bit, right?
A little bit of experience.
A little bit.
I like to call ourselves like mini chemists. For one, that's what I actually changed my nursing degree to, cosmetic chemistry.
I love that.
Because I'm like, we kind of are like chemists. And we have to know what interacts with what'll happen if we do this with this skin type, what to look for, and what is the actual science behind the chemical peel. What is the science behind treatments? So I like to tell people you might want to dive a little deeper into your chemistry bag to really understand. So the way Jess explains things, like that, I am so comfortable with her. That's why even after the mishap of the laser burning my skin,
she should have sued me.
Girl, please, I still come to her because for one, I know that was like a freak thing. Like we all were in training. And we all had the manual. We all, had been trained on this machine. And it was just not meant for us. Or me.
Right.
And that's the bottom line. It was nothing she could have done.
And like literally the other physician I reached out to out of North Carolina, he was like, I have done this before. And he runs a very successful, I'm sure at this point, 8-figure business.
Yeah. And he burned somebody?
And he said it has happened to him.
And he's a doctor. That's what I'm saying, like.
And he is like an aesthetics physician.
Right.
Yeah, that's what he focuses on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but did you work with him?
No, I just did a bunch of trainings with him. And I took the students there and all of that.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I remember. I don't think I got to go, though.
Oh, you didn't get to go one time?
I don't think I got. You know what? I'm not really for sure because I did go to a Sciton training in Charlotte.
Oh, okay. So that was probably Sciton put that one on.
Okay. Okay. I didn't get to go with you to one of the ones you're talking about with him, but I did go to a Sciton training in Charlotte. But I can't remember if it was. I think I just went because it's what we were using at the spa. But yeah. Yeah, I'm learning, still pivoting. That's another thing I would tell people in this industry. You need to master how to pivot. Yeah. For sure. Because things are always changing. And your clients are growing as well. And they're changing. And what they might have could have did 7 years ago, they might can't do anymore. Exactly. So you got to meet their skin and their body. Where they are. One thing I do like about Jess also is she's actually a Pure Barre instructor. I think did we say that already? We might have. We talk a lot. Yeah, I know. Well, it's all right. But yeah, and she does bring it full circle. Like she's taking care of her body inside out as well as helping people with their skin. I myself, I did take a break from nursing school just because I could not handle both running a business and nursing clinicals. However, I am doing my personal training certification starting in September because I am opening a juice bar and I'm like, okay, this is going to bring things full circle. So we're talking about the nutrition, we're talking about the physical aspect of moving, getting that lymph moving in our circulatory system and all that, but also having really good quality training for skin and products, quality products. Exactly. I tell people that all the time, like, just because you see a celebrity promoting something, and I'm not knocking people, get your money, get your hustle, but I need people to understand it is more than just them using a product.
And I mean, I think to go along with that, right, even when someone sees us, it's more than just our treatment. It's more than just what we do right then. It's what you do at home. It's what you do at home. It's what you're eating, ingesting, what you're supplementing, how you're working out, all these things. Especially with, I don't know, it's my thing with acne, especially with, or even with anti-aging. Yeah. Like glycation and all that stuff. Like, you guys need to understand, it's kind of like with working out, it's like 80% of what you're doing
at home, your daily habits, if you're smoking like crazy, like, come on, like,
exactly.
We're not magicians per se. Like, we work with what we have, and we can only tell you.
But you have to do your part too.
You have to do your part, and I feel like we are in a time where everything is like so popcorn. Like, people want stuff so instantaneously, and oh yeah, give me this pill, and I saw her doing this, and I'm like, everything is not made for everybody. Like we just said, chemical pills are great in certain instances, but we also need to work on rebuilding the skin.
When you have to prep the skin for
you
stuff
have
like that.
to prep
the triosynase inhibitor,
oh,
especially for our melanin girls.
Girl,
you know?
listen.
You can't just throw a peel on.
And I tell people that if you're coming to me, you are going to go through some treatments. Meaning, we're going to be some prep. We're going to have a plan. We're going to do some prep work. If you come to me thinking you're going to get a chemical peel the next day, you're wrong. And if it is a pill, it's an enzyme.
Right.
It's something like baby.
Superficial.
Superficial.
Gentle.
Not gentle. And if you're a type that doesn't want to do the routine at home, you're not getting a chemical peel from me because you're not prepping the skin. And I refuse to burn somebody off of something simple like that. Like,
right.
I'm telling you what to do at home. Hey, listen, this is what we need to do. I don't cherry pick. I give you specific things that you need to prepare your skin.
Right, like I send links. If I don't sell it, I send links to where you're going to get it.
So tell us about that too. Like when you have somebody, because we are in inflation, right? So we're all being affected by that. But like I say, I'm here for the people who want me. So it's like, if I can create a sample kit, I will. But I don't know about you, but a lot of the companies I use, they don't have like sample kits.
Yep.
So I think people, kind of get frustrated with that. But I'm like, I mean, you can either do this or you can go to Walmart and Sephora and Ulta. Not saying they don't have some stuff that works, but at the same time, this stuff is being sold by people who are not licensed. So in a way, they can't really sell you anything that's truly, truly effective because that puts them at risk.
Exactly.
So you have to kind of think about that as well when you're talking about quality products, mass production, shelf life, like stuff that has a lot of preservatives in it and all this stuff. It's like you really can't. I really can't, compete with that because I'm like, listen, this stuff is made for mass production and all that. But if you're talking about quality stuff that's going to prep your skin for this type of stuff, because what she's doing, can the first timer come and get this stuff?
Not all this. No, not all this. And the majority of my clientele are continual. Like when I have a new person, you know what I mean? I tell them, I'm like, okay, next time we can do something like this or this.
And I think you and I both have been in the game for a while to the point where we're kind of like, we have our people who come.
Exactly.
I still get newcomers, but and if they're newcomers, they're coming from word of mouth.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So they kind of already know what's going to go into this thing.
It's a process.
And you guys, it is a process and it's an investment.
It is an investment.
Like, what did you say? Like, something like this is going to run you $400. Yeah. You can go to so-and-so. You can go to Massage Envy. But...
Which, in all fairness, that's where I started. I got facials at Massage Envy.
And I'm not knocking it.
And my esthetician was too good to be there.
and hey, we all have to start somewhere.
We all got to start. I almost accepted a job at Hand and Stone.
Really?
But then my very first day of training at Hand and Stone.
Recently or just?
Well, like when I very first started.
Okay.
When I very first started. That same day of training at Hand and Stone, that night Oko called me. And they were like, we want to offer you a position. And I never called Hand and Stone again. I was like, thank you, that was fun. I mean, they didn't even pay me for that day of training or nothing. Like, I was just like, thank you, goodbye.
Thank you, goodbye.
That was fun, but thank you, no. I'm going to go to Oko now.
Right.
Like, that was my goal when I come out of school. If I wasn't going to go directly into medical,
right,
Oko was where I wanted to go. Because that was the pristine day spa.
Right.
And when I showed up there, they were like, who are you? What are you doing? Because I wanted to do all the things that we were kind of, taught as far as like a plan, a regimen.
Oh, they didn't do.
They didn't do any of that. I made my own sheets.
Really?
And I remember one time I made a paycheck that was bigger than my boss. And he came to me and he said, you made more money this week than I did. How'd you do that?
So let's just say this. There is money in this industry.
And the money will come.
The money will come if Jess mastered what she does well. And you have to have a love for people.
Absolutely. You have to have a server's heart.
You have to have a server's heart.
I mean, you're here to help.
You're
it's
here
not
to
about
help.
the money.
You're here to coach.
I mean, we all have to pay our bills,
but it can't be about, I'm going to say you this, and this, and this, and you really don't need this. Like, we come from a cloth of selling the client what they need to get them the results they're looking for.
Exactly.
And we are very upfront about, hey, listen, we can do packages, or we can do this and that, but, this is going to be kind of an investment that you need to put into yourself. Exactly. And I feel like that's the best investment, because I have put thousands into my education.
Exactly. Oh gosh.
Oh my God, yes.
When I think about all the money.
And some of the shit we don't even do anymore.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, but I will say it was part of the process of getting, I don't do lashes anymore.
And she used to do brows.
I used to do permanent makeup.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So kind of tell us, like, because I was thinking about getting this. I've been back and forth the whole brow thing. What are the pros and cons of that?
So for me, I will say the permanent makeup category is now oversaturated too.
Oh, yeah.
And there's so many trainings that you have to really grasp to be a really great permanent makeup artist specialist.
Yeah.
And there is money to be made for sure. But I will say, for me personally, it came down to what's worth my time.
Right.
Okay. And I dabbled in permanent makeup. And I just hated feeling like, because they come back, for a second appointment.
Yeah.
You do a touch up or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I'd rather fix their skin. These people are coming in and I'm sitting here looking at their skin and I'm like,
girl, these brows ain't doing nothing for you.
I know. I understand you want to frame your face, but
yeah,
we can work on this skin. First.
Which to me will, in the long run, like I got my brows
be
done,
worth it.
I did it for convenience. Because I cut my hair off, I did my brows.
Right, you need something.
I need something that'll help me just look alive most days.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a heavy makeup girl.
Yeah, which is good, right?
Yes.
We love being makeup free.
You need to see my skin as an esthetician.
For sure.
My skin needs to be good. As a matter of fact, what does my skin look like? How's it look?
Your skin looks really good.
Okay, cool.
It does look really good. Yeah.
But yeah, it basically comes down to
you have a skin classic, right, Courtney?
I do have a skin classic.
You should get those little spots that are starting to come up on your cheek because they're just going to get a little bigger.
I know.
Yes.
Because it's hereditary, right?
Yes.
So it's like, okay, I need to start using this on myself.
Yeah, and
I do.
When I zap myself, I jump a little, but
I was gonna say, how do you do it to yourself?
Girl, I do it to myself, and I'm like just in here zapping myself, and then I end up over zapping myself.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Have you had any bad reaction to it?
No. And actually, anytime I see, because women of color specifically, they have more. Of those, what are they called? They're called
like
little fibromas.
Yes, fibromas.
Yes, that's more common. Now I have seen it in light skin too.
Right.
I actually just had a client Saturday, so I did a pop up at Roost in Columbia.
Okay.
So I still do random pop ups in Columbia. And I had a client, and she had them all over her neck. And that's where they are. They're either like on the cheeks or the neck, whether it's the front of the neck or the back of the neck or whatever. And I ended up zapping all of them for her during, her session with me. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you can literally skin classic anybody, and it doesn't matter how much melanin they have in their skin either.
Okay.
The thing is, though, I would say, for sure, I would recommend a triostinase inhibitor before you do a woman of color.
Yeah.
So...
And that's... Okay.
They're also going to take longer to heal.
Yes.
Okay. So a lot of my lighter skin tone clients, they'll be fine in 5 to 10 days.
Okay.
But my darker clients, they are going to have, for sure 21 to 28 days.
Really?
And especially if the skin isn't prepped. So, for instance, Skin Classic is marketed like, oh, let's just zap everything off. But I don't agree with that.
I do not.
I think it should be done during the facials.
Yes.
And we do just a few at a time.
Yes.
Unless it is something like a pop-up and they're like, look, I'm here to do the wham bam, like let's do this, you know what I mean? And I already know they're on this or on that or whatever. So that is one thing I would say about that. I don't do that. You come in, if you want Skin Classic, I add it to the facial. You don't come in and just get Skin Classic.
Right.
Now,
I agree.
A lot of Skin Classic providers do that.
Okay.
But definitely when someone is Italian, Greek,
right.
Asian, in general, people that have melanin reactive skin.
Right.
I think they for sure need to be on a triosynase inhibitor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
at least for 30 days.
Listen, and I do the same thing with the Skin Pen. I do the same thing with Skin Classic. I do the same thing with when it comes to people of color, I do not play any games.
Yeah.
Chemical peels. Like, you're not going to walk in my building and say, hey, let's just do this. No. Like, we're going to put you on something that's going to prepare your skin, and also something that's going to be post-care. So once, we're done with the treatments and everything, you're going to need something that's going to have that's going to help with maintenance for the skin. So I do not promote any, and like you say, there are definitely some trainers who say, yeah, just pop it up and do. No.
Yeah.
No. And that's just us being very cautious about what we've seen in the past.
Exactly. And I think reps and trainers are very much focused on their modality that they are selling or training on.
Yes.
But especially for me, I do combination corrective, so I'm constantly combining different modalities with different modalities.
Right.
And honestly, I started doing that at Pura, and I think it's so cool because Hydrofacial finally started admitting, oh, you can layer this with laser. You can layer this with this. You know what I mean? Because we now have studies on it or whatever.
Right.
But I think that's the downfall of someone that only represents one company or only offers one modality. They think, but you're going to get a much better result if you layer and combine correctly.
And you know what? You definitely have done that from the very beginning.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Like, the more and more I think about it, I'm like, I have always kind of
done that. And that's one thing, again, with me being a newbie and I came in, that's the immediate thing I noticed, that you were like, oh, okay, so no.
Right.
We got to combine some.
We also need to do this.
Yes, which makes sense. I hate when companies say, oh, yeah, our thing does everything. No, what the hell it does not. You're lying.
Exactly.
To make a sale, so stop it.
Right. Like, there's always a better option possibly.
Yes.
Or a better way to perform that modality, or a better way to layer it or whatever.
Right.